Dear students, today we are going to do last topic of your syllabus, that is story writing. Okay. Afterwards, your syllabus will come to an end, and from tomorrow onwards, revision will be started. Okay. So, story writing. This writing skill is very much important. You have to follow so many guidelines. My voice is audible to you? So this writing skill is very much important to you, because same writing skill will be repeated in class 9th also and in class 10th also. And in your board exams, story writing is always asked in 9th and 10th. So that's why story writing is introduced in the last phase of 8th class, so that you should be prepared for next class. Okay. So whatever the guidelines I'm going to discuss with you today, pay heed to all the guidelines, pay attention and listen them very, very carefully. Okay, because it is a part of your syllabus PT4. So it can be asked in PT4 exams also. Okay, so listen it carefully. See, in your paper, what will be the style of asking story? This time, hints will be given to you. With the help of those hints, you will be framing your story on your own. Only you will be picking up the hints and you will be framing in your mind. Then you will be jotting down on a paper, piece of a paper. Okay. But story writing doesn't mean that you have gone through the hints and you will start writing. Not like that. Before that, you have to prepare a rough draft. And how you are going to prepare that draft? By keeping all the points that which I'm going to discuss with you. See, suppose if you go to watch any kind of movie. Okay, suppose you are sitting at your home. Ishan, if you're not interested, you can enjoy and bask in sun. Go out. Because there is something very much important I'm going to discuss and you are whispering in class. It means my lecture, you think it is useless. This is the gesture that you are showing to me. Suppose you watch any of a movie. And in movie, you find climax, suspense, thrill. So how would you feel? Excited? Yeah. You'd be very much eager to go to an end. Thoroughly for 3 hours, you will be enjoying. And that impact will stay on your mind for so long time. Isn't it? Yeah. Am I wrong or right? Right. So same like that, you just imagine I provide you any of a book or I give you an opportunity. Okay, let's utilize this period as a library period. Let's go and search any, and I will give you liberty that you search any of a book, okay, and of your choice. I think 90% students will pick up story books. Don't you think so? Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Because in one period, you will be able to read stories. And moreover, when 30 minutes will be utilized in reading stories, so you feel relaxed. That visual image reflect in your mind when you go through the story. And you also feel engrossed. Yes, you feel engrossed also, that you are completely absorbed in that text. And whenever you will be sitting aloof and you will be sitting it like alone, and you will be sitting it, you will be reading it alone, and you will feel that these characters are attached to you. You will be finding suspense. climax, will be very much eager to know that what will happen at end. Isn't it? Tell me, it happens with you or not? Okay. So same like that. So when you are going to write down any story, so you imagine in your mind that readers who are going to read that story, they should be completely engrossed in that. They should find your text very much interesting. They should find that the characters of that story are related to your day-to-day life. They should find out that there is a suspense, there is a climax, or there is a moral, okay, and there is a twist, there is a turning point in your story. Only then your story will be judged like a story, and teacher who is a reader of your story will be giving you good marks. Isn't it? So you got my point, what I want to say? Yes. So same like that, if you are going to write down a story for your examination purpose, who is the reader? Only one person is going to read. Teacher, examiner, or head or principal. They are going to read your story and your marks will be given on that basis. Okay. So you have to make your story to that level that you are going to follow all the guidelines which are to be followed in story, and these are the essential components of a story. Without these components, your story is not a story, it is only a piece of paragraph and any child can write. This story writing is not, you can say, in the syllabus of 6th, 7th, 8th. So if I call any of a child of 6th and 7th, I give him topic, okay, you write down a story on two friends. Two friends, hint I give, they go outside. They find secret place. They went there. In that secret place, they found something suspicious. Okay, and they informed the police. And now bring a climax. What was that? And moral, they found reward for that. So I think 6th and 7th child, when he will be writing that story, it depends on his creativity that he is going to do justice with this or not. But you can also write down, if I tell you these hints, you can write down with your imagination. But in a class of 40, I think I will be able to collect 40 different stories. Isn't it? When I will be checking your notebook, I will be getting 40 different stories, because your imagination, your viewpoint, your outlook, your, you can say, viewpoint, your thinking, your imagination, all will be varying, all will be different. But there are some of the guidelines that you have to follow. So what are the guidelines when you are going to frame a story? First of all, think about the plot of a story. So the very first point that you have to keep in your mind, that is a plot. So what is plot? Can anybody tell me what is plot? Yes, outline of a story, main scene, background of a story. You have to think about the theme of a story. What kind of theme you are going to show in your story? If you will be writing in a single tone, I think when I will be reading or any of another reader will be reading, they will get bored if it is written in a same tone. So don't you think that there should be dialogues of characters? No doubt there should be good characters. Characters can be based on your imagination. It can be, you can say, imaginative characters. It can be character related to your day-to-day life. Okay, so any character, but these characters, if they speak some of the dialogues, don't you think that it will give a live effect to your story? If I simply say that this happened, that happened, afterward that happened, you'll get bored. But if I say Herman said this thing to Adish, after that Adish was so stunned and he spoke like this, his dialogue, that Herman spoke like this. So if you add up, not too much, but if you add up 2 or 3 dialogues for characters, it will give, you can say, lively effect to your story. isn't it?
Yes, ma'am.
So it is very much compulsory before framing a story. You have to think about a plot. You have to think about the theme. You have to imagine different characters. You have to write down dialogues. You have to think about time also. What kind of time you are going to take for a story? You are going, for example, if you read maximum stories, from which line does they start?
Once upon a time.
Yes, very good. So many stories are written in our with beginning this line. Once upon a time, long time ago. It means so many stories are written by giving the explanation of past, that this thing happened in past. So whenever you are writing some experience, once upon a time, long time ago, so which verb you are supposed to use? Past tense. So if your 2 or 3 marks are given for grammar in story writing, so you keep this point in your mind that every time you have to use past tense only while writing a story, not any other tense. Yes, dialects can be put in inverted commas. They can be written in present tense. For example, he replied question, inverted comma, what do you want? My friend replied, inverted comma start, I want to go and explore that cave. Who lives there? Question mark. So dialects can be written in present, but all the incident afterwards, what happened, afterwards, what happened, the series of incident that should be written in past. And next point that you have to keep in your mind, logical order. Logical order. Logical order like that, sequence of sentences. Yes, sequence of ideas. Whatever the ideas coming in your mind, you have to think over this for some time before framing final story. You will think that I'm going to start my story with this scene. Afterwards, this scene will come. Then I will add that scene to next scene. So it means proper arrangement should be there. Sequence should go, sequence should move on, but all these scenes should be joined properly. It means there should be a coherence. Coherence, what is the meaning of coherence? That all these scenes, all these ideas should feel that they are joined to one another. ये नहीं कि स्टार्टिंग में लगा दो अभी प्रेजेंट का, फिर नेक्स्ट स्टेप लगा दो 20 साल पहले का, फिर उसके बाद like that. It should not look like that. It should not be look like that shattered. All the scenes should be there of past also, present also, future also you can add, but all these scenes should be joined in a systematic way and there should be a coherence. Don't you think so? So unity in time, place and action, that should be kept in mind. Unity in time, place and action should be kept in mind. Characters should be kept in mind. These characters can be introduced by having dialects. Don't say once upon a time there was Ram and Sham. They were both friends. It doesn't seem like of 8th class. Okay? You bring variety, but introduce the characters with their dialects. Ram said this thing. Ram said inverted commas. After that, Sham said. So from those dialects, it will be clear that 2 characters are there in this story. And when you will be writing such kind of stories, you will become more imaginative. Your creative writing will improve. And practice makes a man perfect. So you are so lucky enough that in 8th class, in PT4, we have added this in your syllabus so that you will not face any kind of difficulty in 9th and 10th, because in 9th and 10th, main writing skill is short story writing. And you have to do maximum practice in further classes also. So why not to start now? Because after 1 month, you will be in 9th class. क्या हो गया? Doubt है कोई? And one thing more, when we watch a movie and when movie comes to an end, and if it is giving us any moral value, if it is giving us any message, do we feel happy or not?
Yes.
And when it has a very sad ending or it is incomplete, we feel happy or not? So everyone, whether a child of very young age or whether any elderly person, any senior person, whenever they watch movie, they want that this ending should be happy. Don't you think so? So same like that, if you keep this point in your mind that when we are reading a story and when the story comes to an end, and but it comes to an end with a happy ending, so we will feel happy or not? So this is a very big element, very good element you can add in your story to make it interesting, to make it lively. Bring ending. Bring ending, but this ending should have a message, or you can end up by writing a moral. Sometimes some stories are written that they don't have moral, but if you want to score good marks, so make this element in your story that my story should have a moral. And if you'll be writing a moral at a last, definitely examiner will be impressed and giving you good marks. And one at the very, very important point, whenever any of the story is going to be asked in your paper, there will be 1 mark for caption, for title. And this title, sometimes you are not able to write down in the beginning. Why so? Because with our imagination, so many characters come. With our imagination, we bring changes in scenes. With our imagination, some other actions take place. We arrange all the ideas, and by writing, other things can be added. And at last, when we reach, then automatically one of the captions strikes in our mind. Don't you think so? In the beginning, we are not able to write down suitable caption. It is little bit time consuming process. In exam, we don't have time. But when you will be able to frame whole story, having you can say 250 words, near about 250 words, then at last automatically one of a caption should strike in your mind, and you should add that caption in the beginning. And this caption should be catchy. It's eye-catching.
Attractive.
Yes, it should be attractive.
Attention seeker.
Yes, and this kind of caption should seek the attention of a reader. Suppose you are turning the page of any book, story book. In that story book, 50 stories are given, 100 stories are given. First of all, what you will read? Titles. If any of the appealing title is there, you will be get to words they attracted to that. Definitely you will see, no, I should read this story because it is related to my life. The characters seem that they are, you can say, my favorite, or they will seem good, and I will enjoy reading this piece of text. होता है ना ऐसा? So this caption title should be attractive, eye-catching, and it should be appealing. See, if you are going to keep all these basic elements, I haven't gone in so much detail according to 9th and 10th, because in 9th and 10th level will be increased, but I am just teaching you it first time. So I thought that basic elements should be taught to you so that you can get some ideas in nutshell briefly, that basically what is story writing and why it is added in our syllabus and what we are supposed to write down in this story. Don't start writing blindly. Work on these elements. Think about these elements. Then you can do justification. You can justify your piece of writing, that I have justified, that I have taken care of all these elements. I have added all those elements in my story. Now I am 101% sure that when as a examiner, ma'am will be reading my story, so she will not, you can say, give me less marks. She will be justifying, she will be, you can say, feeling forced to read my whole story. In between, I will not stop. I will be forced to read full story. Then what is the climax now? What is, so if I will feel like that, no, I should move further. I should move further. What is happening? And at last, I will be getting moral. I will be getting climax, suspense. I will be finding different kind of characters in the story. I will be finding that all the ideas are arranged properly. Time, action, and place, unity has been kept in mind. I will be finding that catching the heading is also written by my student. Okay, so all these ideas, if written so systematically, if my student have followed past tense, because all the scenes are taken from past. Okay, so definitely if I will be finding all these elements in story, so I will be forced to give you good marks. You can say 8, 9, 10. Clear? And one thing more I forgot to tell you, whenever there is a change in a scene, you change paragraph. Don't write down in single paragraph. This is the major mistake students do in 9th class also. They start writing story and they write down, and they fill 2-3 pages only a single paragraph. It will not seem like a story. It seems boring. It is not considered a story. You pick up any of a story book, you will find that in story there is not hard and fast rule, 2 paragraph, 3 or 10 or 11, not like that. But whenever there is a change in a scene, whenever there is a change in a incident, okay, there is a climax, suspense. So next paragraph is written. And one major mistake also I have found when I was checking 9th class paper last time in PT3. So many, I told them that add characters, add dialogues. So some great personalities were there. They have started their story from dialogues and they have ended their story with dialogues. So it was not a story. What was that considered? Drama. It was considered as a, because in drama, skits, you go through your literature books, na, sometimes dramas are given, skits are given. I call students, okay, you imagine this thing, you are imagine this thing, and converse with each other, then I will be explaining the chapter. So these are considered dramas. So there is a huge difference between story writing and drama writing. Drama writing is not introduced in any of the class. It is only story that you are going to do now. So in story, there is a need to add dialogues, but add 2 dialogues, maximum 3. This much. There is not a fixed limit. It depends on the length of your story, climax of your story, and change in the scene. So all these points are clear?
Yes, ma'am.
All these points are clear. Now pick up pens and start writing. Start writing. I'm going to give you some of the hints. You pick up those hints and start framing a story. You will not be able to do in your, yes, first of all do in rough. First of all do in rough, then you will be doing in. Time is going to be over. Lavish, don't get yes, I will be telling you. So here I'm going to give you hints. Write down. A pampered daughter of a wealthy family. A pampered daughter of a wealthy family, fond of electronic gadgets. I just tell you. Fond of electronic gadgets. Fond of electronic gadgets. Birthday arrived. Birthday arrived. Wanted an iPhone. Wanted an iPhone. Visited countryside. Visited countryside. Saw a poor woman. Saw a poor woman teaching poor kids. Your English class is going to be very much interesting. I'm going to take one step. Only 1 or 2 children are not on track. I'm going to take them to principal ma'am. Afterwards, your whole class will be on track and their knowledge will be enhanced with the passage of time. I just assure you that. Let me take this hard step today. Teaching poor kids, because these are only hints. These are only hints. Decided to help. Decided to help. Bought things of their needs. Bought things of their needs. Celebrated her birthday. Celebrated her birthday by helping them best birthday of her life. Best birthday of her life. So these are only the hints that I have provided you. Only rough ideas you have got. But if you imagine in your mind proper scene of that girl, you can give you can say some of the name to parents also, to that girl also. You can imagine those scenes that she was moving in a car. She went to countryside along with her father. Not give name to father and mother, but write down father, mother, brother, sister, whatever. Okay. So what was the scene there? I'm saying that you give introduction in a smart way. I told you on those hints when I was telling you on those guidelines that don't write down once upon a time there was a girl. No, not like that. You write down story, the character should emerge. Okay, as it should give visual image in our mind. You are writing, I'm a reader. When I will be reading, so this visual image should come in my mind that this is a girl and her name is Reena, whatever. How does she look? Which kind of girl is that? She is pampered one. क्या मतलब होगा pampered one? Spoiled type, spoiled girl, who's very much arrogant of her riches. She is very much indulged. Okay, so you have to write down about that while looking at only one scene, how a turning point take place in her life, what drastic change occurred in her life, how was she completely changed. And earlier she was very much arrogant, she was proud of her riches, but at last how did she become down to earth. Okay, and she wanted to spend lots of money on her birthday, but at last she spent same money on the welfare, on the benefit of a lady, of a poor woman to whom she saw. She was impressed to see her lifestyle and she wanted to do something for her. She was so moved to see her lifestyle. Not impressed, sorry. She was moved. Okay? So how a change in her heart take place? So think about that imagination. Go in that. Think about a good title also. And this work I'm giving you as a homework. And this story will be discussed tomorrow. Okay.